Do you think your wife is cheating on you? Can you imagine losing everything after an affair? Chris and his wife got married in what was a glamorous occasion. They got along so well, they loved each other deeply, and to be honest, everything looked perfect until 4 years down the line, and their marriage seems to be struggling a little bit. Chris was about to turn 35, but he felt like his wife had slowly but surely been pulling away from him. She was a little bit secretive. She would pick calls and text messages at odd hours. She would stay late at work. Like, things were just happening and was feeling a little uncomfortable about it. Could she be cheating? Could she have found something else? But he didn't want to jump to that conclusion. He didn't really think that that was possible. So he spoke to his wife and said, oh, look, babe, I've been feeling a little, I feel like you're withdrawing. I feel like you're distant. I feel like you're so much more quiet. Is something the matter? Has something happened? But his wife was like, oh, absolutely not. There's nothing wrong. I've not been withdrawing. You must be confused. But Chris was insistent. He was like, babe, there's something going on. She was like, nah, she's just busy with work. She's just very tired. Things are stressing her. Her company is, doing a few things. It's just a lot, but there's nothing wrong with their relationship and she's fine. So you know what? Chris accepted it. But he was like, you know what? His birthday's coming up. He kind of wants some form of celebration, some form of party. But again, his wife wasn't very enthusiastic. She was like, oh, okay, we'll figure something out. I'm very busy. I can't think of that right now. Little by little, Chris kind of started to let it slide because if she said nothing was wrong and he doesn't find any proof that she's cheating, then maybe they're just in a rough patch and we'll get through it. The following Monday morning, Chris goes to his office. His boss calls him in and his boss, let's call him Mr. Diallo, says, oh, Chris, my guy, I put a document here for you. Chris, apprehensive, picks up the document and realizes it's a contract. He's being promoted to a managerial position at work. He's so excited because he's been working here for 10 years. He's coming up on his anniversary at work, and now he's getting a promotion. His boss goes, look, I've been very fond of you. I've been pushing for this promotion for you. You're about to make triple what you currently earn. I think you deserve this. Congratulations. Chris was ecstatic. He's like, oh my gosh, this is great. If things at my job are picking up, then maybe things at my home will also work out. So he's happy, he's excited, he's joyful, he's getting ready to make those arrangements. In his excitement, he runs home. He gets to the house and sees his wife with another younger gentleman. His wife is like a little uncomfortable. She's like, oh, you're back home early. Hi, how come? Chris is like, oh, I just got an announcement. I'm getting promoted at work. I was coming to tell you. His wife's like, oh, that's great. Yes, this gentleman is just helping me with some work. He'll be leaving shortly. And Chris was like, nah, this is all the proof he needs. Clearly, she's cheating on him. He didn't see the clothes and all, but she was acting way too suspicious. Why was she home halfway through the day? Well, who was this gentleman? Chris was like, okay, you know what? I need some air. He leaves the house and calls his friend and rants up to his friend and tells him the whole situation. He's like, she's been withdrawing from me. Now I come home, she's at home with some guy I've never met, says it's work. She's not telling me the truth. Something's going on. His friend goes, look, at this point, me, you, and everybody kind of think she's cheating. So you know how to deal with cheaters. You also have to cheat on them. Pay back. It's better served cold. Chris was like, is that really necessary? His friend said, look, don't worry. We'll go to the bar this evening, pick up some random girl, and you'll have a great time. Hold up. Wait. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now let's go back to the show. So later that evening, Chris and his friend go to the bar. They're sitting down, drinking. Chris is miserable, but he keeps drinking. His friend is encouraging him, like, look, my guy, go ahead. There's this chick across the bar. Go and talk to her. See what's up. Invite her somewhere. You need to get this sadness off your chest. So Chris at this point is almost wasted, but he approaches this lady. She introduces herself as Chantel. They hit it off. They get to talking and laughing and giggling, and he says, hey, you wanna get out of here? She's like, oh yeah, I'm down. So they leave the bar. Now they get a car, they're touchy-feely, enjoying themselves. They get to a hotel. Chris, escorts her in and they get into an elevator. Again, things start to heat up. The romance, the sparks, the alcohol. They eventually get to a room. 1, 2, 3, it goes down. The devil's tango. And in that moment, Chris felt vindicated. He was like, you know what? She did this to me. I'll do right back to her. Finish. The next morning, Chris wakes up to Chantel hurriedly putting on her clothes. She's like, oh my gosh, I gotta leave. I'm in a hurry. That's it. One night stand. No call, no text, no number. Chris also eventually gets up and prepares to go home. As he gets home, he finds some flimsy excuse to explain to his wife why he wasn't around. Long day, long night. frustration, etc. His wife ignores him. Chris showers, gets ready, goes back to work the following day. As he gets to work, he passes by his boss's office. It's slightly ajar, and there's a woman sitting on the couch. Mr. Jello calls, "Hey, Chris, come and see something. Come and meet someone." Chris walks in, and there on the couch sits a young lady. Mr. Jello says, "Oh, Chris, come and meet my 17-year-old daughter, Heaven. She's the apple of my eye. She's my sweetheart. I would do anything for her." Chris goes, "Oh crap, I am going to jail." Because Heaven was none other than the lady from last night who had introduced herself as Chantel. Both Heaven and Chris look at each other, recognize each other, and try to really not make this awkward. Chris goes, "Hello, hi, okay. Nice to meet you, bye-bye." As Mr. Jello walks out of his own office, Chris looks at Heaven and quickly whispers, "None of what happened last night happened. We will forget about it and go about our business." Heaven too is like, "You know what, fine by me, cool." So that was problem solved for Chris. So he goes about his day, goes about his business. A few days later, his birthday comes around. And you know what? It's kind of okay. It's kind of mid. It's a little boring. People in the office wish him happy birthday. People give him money. People give him presents. He's organizing his new office as a new managerial person. But he's not heard from his wife. She's not texted him. She's not called him. She was MIA that morning when he woke up. He doesn't understand what's going on. By the time he's getting ready to close from the evening, Chris is very sad, very downtrodden. He gets home, opens the door, and hears a loud surprise. And there it is, his friends and family all dressed up to the nines in his hallway, getting ready to celebrate his birthday. His wife comes out, gives him a big hug, and says, "Oh my goodness, I've been planning this for so long. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to make this a really good surprise. I'm glad I can tell you now. I hope you have a great evening." Oh my Lord. Chris starts to cry because his wife wasn't cheating on him. His wife has done nothing. She was literally planning his surprise birthday party, but he couldn't confess to that. So he cried and everybody thought it was tears of joy and he was contemplating his life choices. Eventually the night passed on. Chris did in fact have a great time. Now a few weeks later, Chris is scrolling through social media. He's on X, Twitter, and he sees a random article stating that this hotel has had a security breach. Private information has been acquired and stolen and could potentially be leaked. Chris recognizes the hotel as the place that he'd gone with Chantel, but he scrolls. It's none of his business. Everybody has their own problems. Until a few posts later, he notices that someone announces that 16 videos, camera footage from this hotel have been leaked. Scandal, wives, husbands exposed. Chris panics because wait, what now? And there, among those 16 videos is the elevator video of him and Chantel kissing. Trouble. Chris can no longer escape. Mr. Jello will find out, his wife will find out, and he will be tried for having messed with an underage child. So it came at no surprise to him when police knocked on his door a few days later and arrested him for messing with an underage child. He is currently facing trial. Mr. Jello is using all his money to prosecute Chris for what he did to his daughter, but that's not it. Mr. Jello's high status has allowed him to put Chris on red alert. No bank in the whole city, in the country, will allow him to work for them. But that's not the end of his misery. Chris's wife was so very disappointed, heartbroken, dejected, that she immediately filed for divorce. She wanted nothing to do with him. Fighting this case is bleeding him dry. So Chris, who was on top of the world, had a wife, had a wonderful job, had a boss that supported him, has lost it all. He is left with absolutely nothing. He's currently in trial awaiting a decision that he knows in the next few days will change his life forever. Now that's an entangled web. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube at EntangledWebStories, and I'll catch you for a new video every single Saturday.